this episode of Verde Valley Television Senior Living Program. We are having a great time this summer, and we're headed right into the fall time, which means a lot more activities of different types, a few fun things, some very important things as we get closer to the end of the year. And one of the things that we have been fortunate enough to talk about a couple of different times in the past is the efforts of the Verde Valley Fire Foundation. There have been several different opportunities to support the Fire Foundation and to be a part of what they do to in turn help us as citizens of the Verde Valley. Today, I want to say thank you for being here and welcome to Robert Church.
Thank you.
And we
Nice
appreciate you taking the time. I want to, as I mentioned, we have talked some about the Verde Valley Fire Foundation and all of the great work and what they've accomplished, what's been accomplished so far. But can you give us just a real quick explanation of what the Fire Foundation actually is?
Sure. The Verde Valley Fire Foundation is the nonprofit organization of the Verde Valley Fire District, and what we do as board members is we raise money to help support the efforts of the Verde Valley Fire District. Mm-hmm. It's made up of individuals from mostly the Verde Valley Fire District who live in the area, or they may live in Cottonwood or Clarkdale. Mm-hmm. And what we do is we do various fundraising activities throughout the year. So this all started several years ago when fire personnel responded to an off-road accident out on the Hayfield Draw area. An ATV driver had rolled their ATV, and they found out that they really didn't have the equipment to get out to where they needed to go. And so they actually put the medical board and the equipment and had an ATV driver take them out to the scene of the accident. So with that, a couple of individuals said we need to maybe get an off-road ambulance. And that was the first project that the foundation worked on, and we recently purchased that and outfitted that several months ago with the Verde Valley ambulance, and it's over at Verde Valley Fire District Station 31 off of Goddard. So it's available to any of the agencies for an off-road response.
Right. I think we first learned about this was before it was purchased, the Christmas tree sales efforts were part of the funding.
Yes.
To make that happen.
Yes, and that's one of the events that we do. We do an annual Christmas tree sale, so we'll be getting ready to start that up. It'll probably start either Friday or Saturday after Thanksgiving, depending on when the trees get here. They're fresh cut trees that get delivered here from Oregon, and we have a good selection of Grand Nobles and Douglas Nobles, and people are welcome to come by the fire station and purchase those for Christmas.
Well, before we get to Christmas, there's another event that has been fairly popular that's coming up right around the corner.
Yes, on October 20th, we're going to have our fall golf tournament over at Verde Santa Fe. Tee time is 8 a.m. Registration is $90. That includes lunch. And if you're a golfer and love to participate in those types of events, we'd love to have you come out there and do that. We did another one earlier in the year over at Pine Shadows. It was very successful, even though that was the day that we had that really bad weather that came in over Mingus, and we had quite a bit of snow and coldness there on the golf course, but our golfers were enthusiastic. They played through it, and everybody had a great time.
Most golfers are pretty tough when it comes to that kind of stuff. They'll try to play through everything. But Robert, I wanted to double check. Say the date again.
It's Saturday, October 20th.
October 20th. Mm-hmm. I have October 6th on my...
It originally was,
okay.
But then there was a conflicting date with another event, so we went ahead and opted and moved it to the 20th. So
okay.
It is on the 20th.
All right, that's good to know because I did have information. I had the date as the 6th, so thanks for clarifying that. It seems like there's plenty of opportunity. You're still signing up golfers, people
Correct.
That want to participate, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what else if I don't golf, but what else? How else can I help in terms of getting this on or any of your other events?
Some of the other fundraisers we've had have been car washes, and then of course the Christmas tree sale. So if you wanted to participate and come and be a volunteer at the Christmas tree sale booth, we're always looking for volunteers for that. Last year we operated from about 3:30 in the afternoon till about 6:30 in the evening, mm-hmm. longer on Saturdays and Sundays. But if you wanted to come out and be out there and help out for a couple hours by helping people load up Christmas trees that they purchase, you're certainly welcome to come do that as well.
It's a great opportunity to help support like I mentioned, support those professionals that support us and that help us out. Many people have, there's been discussion that I have heard in the past that, well, my taxes should fund all of that stuff for emergency personnel. The reality is, especially in the situation that you described that started the ball rolling on this, it just can't be done.
They don't always have the monetary resources to do that. Sometimes in the budget, because of the budget line items, something like this off-road ambulance that we purchased, by the time we had it outfitted out and modified for what it is that we needed, you're talking a $15,000, sometimes $20,000 piece of equipment that isn't readily available in the budget, but we certainly identified a need. You know, we got out there on scene and realized this is something that we need to have. And like I said, a couple of people took it upon themselves to form this nonprofit organization. I was contacted about a year ago to come on board, and I've been working with them for the past year, and we're just trying to supplement some of the things that our first responders might need that aren't covered in the budget. And
the reality is that while volunteers are certainly appreciated and certainly requested, many of the members of the foundation are currently involved in as emergency personnel, and you guys know how important this is, not just for you, but for the entire community.
Exactly, for the citizens that we serve. And one of the great things we have here in the Verde Valley is, even though we have very distinct communities, Cottonwood, Clarkdale, Jerome, Sedona, out there in Cornville, all of us as first responders realize that we need to help each other out and work together. And we're very good at sharing resources in between our departments, our different agencies.
I've seen so much about that, some location trading to get used to other locales, so that if there is a situation where everybody needs to be called in,
that's correct. As a matter of fact, the Verde Valley Fire District is working with Yavapai County Emergency Management right now to do a drill where we will actually bring up engines from the west side of the county, from over in Prescott, and they will be doing a water shuttle drill and working with their apparatus and the district's apparatus and the other fire department apparatuses up here from Cottonwood and Camp Verde. And so those crews are actually going to have the opportunity to work together, though the activity is going to be setting up a water tender shuttle, as if they were working a large-scale fire, and they're supplementing and helping us out. So we do try to make those opportunities available to train together, even with our partners over on the other side of the mountain.
We're very fortunate to have that kind of cooperation. That is very helpful. What else do we need to know about either the Fire Foundation or upcoming events?
Like I said, with the Fire Foundation, if you're interested in helping out as a volunteer, certainly welcome to do that. Just contact us over there at the Verde Valley Fire District. You can talk to Bill Bullard over there. He'd be happy to take down your name and information. If you want to come out and help out with the Christmas tree sales. Other than that, that's all we really have on the board right now. We'll probably be looking for some other fundraising activities in the spring.
Sounds like some perfect opportunities for us to step up to the plate and help out. We're helping ourselves as we help the Verde Valley Fire Foundation. Thank you so much for coming in and talking about this. And if I don't see you at the golf tournament, I'll definitely be out there to get a Christmas tree. Get a hold of the Verde Valley Fire Foundation if you have some input, if you've got some time to help out, to volunteer, to step up and help out on the board or whatever. We are going to take a short break, and we'll be back right after these messages. Stay tuned.
You meet other people of your age or older. They are still active and interested. This gives you a bit of a boost too. I'm taking an art class and football for feminists. Yavapai College, life explored.
I have a bachelor's degree already. I have a career job. When I realized I wasn't happy, I decided that I was going to go back and attend art school, which is something I had always wanted to do. I really have explored new avenues in my life. Yavapai College, life explored.
My mom's a hardcore enabler. I first realized it when she said we should have a party at our house.
Have fun tonight? You ready?
She even got my dad to say okay.
Just lighten up a little bit.
They're teenagers. She's so hooked on enabling that my friends think she's their buddy. She doesn't care. Why should I?
Enabling is a drug. Get help. The partnership at drugfree.org.
2 outs with a runner on first base. Now the big guy comes up to bat, hitting .342 with 92 RBIs and 36 homers. First pitch, he fouls it to the back.
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Welcome back to Senior Living. We have been bringing senior living into your homes for several months now. My next guest is a very special guest for 2 reasons. One is he was a guest on our very first show, and the other is that he has been a lot of help and will continue to be a lot of help for all of us taxpayers. Bill Brunson with the IRS Public Media Relations. Welcome again to Senior Living, and thank you so much for being brave enough to come back and join us again.
Well, Pam, it's always a pleasure to be here, and it's good to get out of the valley. I don't know exactly how hot it is today, but it's probably a good 10 degrees hotter in Phoenix, Arizona.
Well, I guess I thought it was just us, but I'll even take the fact that you got out of the heat. That's not bad. I happened to catch, ever since you were on the show the first time, I get your updates now, and one of the updates that you sent particularly caught my attention, and that was on the reasons that we might want to consider becoming a tax volunteer. So I wanted you to just talk a little bit more about the, I know in your article that you sent, it talks about the 10 reasons why you might want to consider this. So let's talk just a little bit about that and tell people, first of all, that they can volunteer, and second of all, that there are volunteers out there.
Well, like any program, the Internal Revenue Service has a need for volunteers for this particular item. Back in 1969, Congress mandated to the Internal Revenue Service, due to the complexity of the tax code, that we needed to go out and help the taxpayer in filing their tax returns. So there came a program out of that called VITA, Voluntary Individual Tax Assistance, and then AARP also had say, a want to become part of this overall, and they established a program called Tax Counseling for the Elderly. So they're parallel programs, basically, that overall they provide free tax help to the community. Not everybody has a complete understanding of the code. Not everybody has the wherewithal to hire a tax practitioner.
Right.
And so by going out into the community with free tax help, we're able to meet a need that exists. For the VITA, the Voluntary Individual Tax Assistance Program, it's for more simplistic returns, nothing that would have a business application, no depreciation or rental. So if you had income or interest or dividends, or you sold some stock and bonds, and it was around $50,000 or less, that's where this VITA program would come in to help folks file. For the tax counseling for the elderly, it deals a little bit more, say, with elderly individuals that, say, have pensions and need to report that income, or they've sold mutual funds or stocks, those sorts of things in the capital gains, and the training then would be toward that. So you've got 2 areas where people can become volunteers in the community. Individuals are trained in current tax law. They're also tested, and if they pass the test and they're able to go into these free tax help sites, that could be at a church, that could be at a community center or a grade school, and prepare taxes for individuals within the community at no charge. The VITA program looks toward allowable credits, deductions, and expenses. Let me rephrase that. Deductions, credits, and allowable expenses. And one of the credits that's real important for people that are around $50,000 or less is the earned income tax credit, which can put money in their pocket. So the folks that are trained as volunteers would be looking for those items to assist those individuals. And the earned income tax credit is refundable, which means it can cause a refund if you don't have any tax withheld.
Right.
It can increase a refund if you've got one coming.
Right.
Or it can reduce a tax bill if you've got a liability. Now, with the tax counseling for the elderly, they're going to be geared a little more toward those pensions and annuities and those dividends and capital gains and those sorts of things. But a person could basically walk into any one of those sites and say, I need some assistance. And then they would be asked a few questions, and then they would go forward. But that's going to be in the spring.
Okay.
And right now is when we need people that are happy with math, like to do programs on computers, want to work with people in the community to give something back, to pick up the phone and call the IRS on our toll-free line, or to log on to irs.gov and tell the Internal Revenue Service you want to become a volunteer. We'll keep in contact with you. We'll provide training. We'll teach you about federal tax law for the current year, state of Arizona tax law for the current year, how to work those tax issues through a software program so that when somebody sits down like we are across from each other, and I give you my W-2, my 1099 interest return, you can prepare a complete and accurate return for me at no charge.
There's two advantages, in my opinion. Number one is to volunteer and do something and give back to the community. But the second thing is just to get the training and understand some of the tax law a little bit better. That seems like a benefit to me.
Right. We don't have a contractual agreement with the volunteers.
Right.
It's an honor system.
Right.
So when you come in and we provide the training and that, if you decide you want to say, see you guys, that's fine. What we do ask is if you can, put 2 to 3 hours a week in during the filing season, which is basically February through April 15th, and that you would work at one of these sites 1 or 2 days a week or 1 or 2 nights a week. They're usually open, well, you know what? They're open almost all around the clock, some of them. So that they're open Monday through Friday or Saturdays, just depends. And they are open evenings and days.
And there are locations, there are sites here in the Verde Valley area?
There are one of each in the Verde Valley from last year that I found out. I didn't know exactly what was here.
Right.
So there was one VITA site last year that should be returning. And there should be one tax counseling for the elderly site sponsored by AARP. Usually in a community like Cottonwood or Clarkdale or
Cornville, Camp Verde.
Excuse me. You're going to have more AARP tax counseling for the elderly because they're more grassroots.
Right.
And in the larger cities, you're going to have the student or the retiree going to the VITA site.
Right.
But you've got one of each here, and what the heck?
There's also something a little bit comforting to me to and please don't take this wrong, because as I mentioned, you have been extremely helpful to me. But the fact that I may be sitting down with somebody that I know that's living in my community and that I feel comfortable with,
right?
They're gonna help me and do the best they possibly can to help me do my taxes properly.
And after you do that wonderful job of completing the taxes completely and accurately, there's going to be another person that's going to review that before it goes into the system.
Oh yeah.
And the software is so good these days that you can hardly make an error. I mean, it's almost error proof.
Right.
So by you getting free tax help, even though there's that old adage where you get what you pay for, well, with this program, it's free, but you're going to get quality tax preparation assistance.
Well, we all know that being confident in our taxes being prepared correctly is very important to all of us. We really don't want to pay any more than our fair share, and we want to make sure that everything is accurate. This seems like a very great opportunity to, like you mentioned, on both sides of the table, to either volunteer and be able to do that, or to take advantage of the opportunities that are out there. Either way, the information is available on irs.gov, and give a call, check out how you can become a volunteer, and also get a little bit of education and take advantage of that. Mr. Brunson, thank you again for coming up into 10-degree cooler weather, and you may not want to come up so much in the wintertime, but we hope to have you back very soon.
I'd love to come back.
Excellent. We'll do that. We'll plan on that. We're going to take another short break, and we will be back and talk a little bit about some up and coming, very exciting events here in the Verde Valley.
I'm Ben Bueller, owner and funeral director at Bueller Funeral Homes. My grandfather once told me, you can serve a family selfishly once, or treat them right and serve that family for generations.
Bueller Funeral Home has been serving Arizona families for 3 generations with affordable and reasonable services. Bueller Funeral Home feels a funeral should be as unique and personal as the individual it honors, whatever your choices, your traditions, or your budget.
Now, some action from the courts. Billie Jean King renewing her rivalry with Arthritis. First set, furious volley, and right to the net for a winner. Beautiful forehand there. Arthritis, stunned. And here, match point. Billie Jean with the ace, taking it in straight sets. Afterwards, a jubilant Billie Jean King.
Tennis is a weapon for me with arthritis. There's nothing like it for me to hit a ball, run to the ball, anytime, any court. I'm ready. Let's go.
What's your weapon against arthritis? Find out at fightarthritispain.org.
2 outs with a runner on first base. Now the big guy comes up to bat, hitting .342 with 92 RBIs and 36 homers.
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Welcome back. As I mentioned, we have got some great things coming up. We talked at the beginning of the show about fall being right around the corner, and as we're actually watching this program, it's creeping up on us a little bit. Something was introduced last year for the very first time, the first annual Verde Valley Fall Festival, and it was a huge success for a first year, a huge success period, unbelievable for a first year event. And we are right around the corner from the 2nd annual Verde Valley Fall Festival, held at Jackpot Ranch. And we are welcoming today Deb Allenbaugh with Jackpot Ranch. And welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Last year was just such a huge success. I'm so impressed, and I was so impressed with the location. So let's tell everybody just a little bit, first of all, about Jackpot Ranch. It's been around forever, but not, I think, as it is right now.
No, and thank you for asking that, because Jackpot Ranch has the coolest story, Pam. Jackpot Ranch was bought about 12 years ago by its current owner, and the reason it was purchased is the owner of Jackpot Ranch grew up in poverty, and not poverty like you and I might imagine, like 1 pair of new shoes his whole childhood, and extreme poverty in Canada. And so at 8 years old, somebody anonymously paid for him to spend 2 weeks at summer camp. And going from eating potato soup on a daily basis and never having your own bed, and going to a camp experience where you're fishing and canoeing and have your own bunk and eating something besides potato soup. So, and he went again the next year. Again, somebody anonymously offered the opportunity, and it changed his life. And he carried it with him and knew that when and if he ever had the opportunity to pay it back, that was what he wanted to do. So he actually looked at 2 other properties before deciding on Jackpot Ranch.
What a great story.
It is. It's an awesome story.
No kidding.
So Jackpot Ranch, we partner with 20 different statewide nonprofits, and we host camp for youth at risk and medically challenged kids throughout the year. The festival was founded to offset our very offset profit and loss.
As with many nonprofits, Deb, that is a constant. That's a constant battle, but as with many nonprofits as well, the challenge to find things to help fund all of the good things that you can do.
Right.
Sometimes can be overwhelming, but you, I think, really hit the nail on the head with the Verde Valley Fall Festival.
Oh, thank you. It was, it far exceeded my hope or expectation. It was kind of an idea to bring some people up from the valley that love that fall experience and getting out of the heat and coming up and just experiencing fall in the Verde Valley, and then down from Flag. And with nearly 10,000 people our first year, we were blown away.
I'd say. So that's pretty decent.
And this year is even more spectacular. We have just some incredible things that have opened up and happened for us this year.
Well, of course, we don't want to give away all of the surprises,
no.
But give us the general rundown. First of all, the dates are October 19th through 21st.
Correct.
At the Jackpot Ranch.
Yes.
And Friday is noon to 8, Saturday 10 a.m. to 8, and then Sunday from 10 to 6. So that means there's got to be a lot of stuff going on to fill up those kinds of hours.
Yes, we have 3 days, full days of live music. We have the big Prescott bandwagon stage coming in on a semi-truck. Then we have some incredible artists, Hans Olsen, Low Skies, Tramps and Thieves. We have Spirit Room Hall of Famers coming in, Aces and Eights, and on and on and on. So that's one great thing. We have vendors, arts, crafts, nonprofit. We just have, you know, this huge, beautiful area for arts and crafts and vendors. It's with ponds and fountains. I think Jackpot Ranch might be one of the best kept secrets in at least Camp Verde.
I'm thinking that it's up there. I think that we're all going to wish we could be campers to some degree, but we can take advantage and enjoy the 3 days.
And so then we also have our giant pumpkin patch. We do hay rides. We have a really cool 3-story tree house. So we take a hay ride past the large carnival. Brown's Amusements actually kind of came through on a whim for us, doing us a huge favor by they do the Coconino County Fair.
Right.
We have a large carnival midway area, so that's something new this year that we didn't have last year. Again, like last year, the wine tasting. You know, we have Coors Light as one of our sponsors, Cliff Castle Casino, and so
wine tasting. There are going to be food vendors, if I understand correctly?
Yes, we do. We have food vendors. We have Babe's Barbecue, Johnny Rockets, just, you know, Zany's Yogurts out of Sedona. We got them in today. Red's restaurant out of Sedona. So fun.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. As we're mentioning this, the carnival, all of the vendors and that type of thing, I do want to remind everybody this event, to attend the event, is absolutely
$0.
free. Yeah, yeah. So save your change to take advantage of all the fun stuff. But mention again, you hit on a couple of great local bands.
Yes.
And many of us really loved the music, and last year was great too. But quick rundown one more time.
My favorite part of the whole festival.
There you go.
We have, for closers, we have Low Skies, we have Tramps and Thieves, Aces and Eights, Coyote Brothers, we have the Sheldons Band. They are awesome. We have Hans Olsen out of Phoenix, who's everybody in Arizona loves Hans. He's been here forever. And that's just to name a few. I know I'm leaving several out. Well, the Chromatics are coming this year.
Okay.
So, and also I want to mention that the reason I was hired was to sort of offset our very offset profit and loss. So Jackpot Ranch can be used on one of our weekends. We don't have campers. They're our priority. Weddings, family reunions. We have a water slide, the big tree house. We have a state-of-the-art bunkhouse, paddle boats. So Jackpot Ranch is really a great place to experience without even the festival there.
I was going to ask you about that because I had seen that in your brochure. And again, mentioning the best kept secret kind of thing, didn't realize how much it had to offer. And yes, you do have events planned for your campers many, many weekends, but there are times when it's available and it just looks like it would make an awesome family reunion or whatever.
I have such a hard job marketing this property.
Yeah, sounds like it. Yeah, that just definitely has seemed to open up a lot of opportunity right in Camp Verde, and that seems very awesome.
And I'm really glad you said that. Some of the things we would like to do, we would like to continue going out around the community, looking at maybe things that we can do. An example might be a fun run or a terrain run with a 5K hitting 10K, hitting historic parts of the Verde Valley.
There you go.
So things we can do to bring the community, come outside of Jackpot Ranch into the community.
Keep that in mind as many of us are involved in a lot of different, with organizations or different events, that type of thing. If you know of a way that Jackpot Ranch can partner, keep that in mind. Deb, I can't...
Volunteers.
Oh, yes.
Volunteers.
Can't forget that.
One word, single word, volunteers. We have a great need for volunteers.
Need we say more?
Thank you.
Actually, a few kinds of things that people could volunteer to do.
We have everything from the welcome area. We have a missing child. Because this is such a large event that's happening, we have the police department, the fire department very involved. So we are having a missing child, little spot fun. We have the vendor area where they would need breaks. We have a first aid section. We have anything, I mean, from picking up trash to, it's just anything when you do an event encompasses such a large scale. Although we do have Patriot Disposal doing our trash, we still could use some help on every area, any area. If you need to sit, we need people to watch the water areas. Just safety, safety, safety.
Excellent, excellent. Ahead of time, any volunteers needed for ahead of the event, or are we talking about pretty much day of event?
Really, day of, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They get a free meal, they get some hay rides, they get to come experience it. It's free admission, so but to come, we're asking for maybe a 4 or 5 hour shift one day, and then stay the rest of the time and enjoy it, or come early and then volunteer, whatever you'd like to do. We'd appreciate any help.
Sounds like a plan. One other thing that I did want to mention, while Jackpot Ranch is a pet-friendly location, this event, because of the numbers of people and all of the different things going on, we ask that you kindly leave pets at home and just make it a little bit safer for them and for everybody attending.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you so much for having us.
It was my pleasure. It was my pleasure. Look forward to it again, October 19th through 21st. If you need any information, www.verdievalleyfallfestival.com.
Jackpotranch.org.
Jackpotranch.org.
Either way.
Thanks, Deb.
Thank you.
And we will see you right after these messages.
If spirit means you feel good, then I've accomplished that goal, because I do feel good physically and I feel good mentally. My name is Bob, and I'm a lifelong learner at Yavapai College. Life Explored.
I think it's just the time where you become who you are. You have to learn what really makes you, defines you. Exploring life, trying new things, following your dreams. My name is Ryzen. I'm a student at Yavapai College. Life Explored.
Now, some action from the courts. Billie Jean King renewing her rivalry with Arthritis. First set, furious volley, and right to the net for a winner. Beautiful forehand there. Arthritis, stunned. And here, match point. Billie Jean with the ace, taking it in straight sets. Afterwards, a jubilant Billie Jean King.
Tennis is a weapon for me with arthritis. There's nothing like it for me to hit a ball, run to the ball, anytime, any court. I'm ready. Let's go.
What's your weapon against arthritis? Find out at fightarthritispain.org.
My mom's a hardcore enabler. I first realized it when she said we should have a party at our house.
Have fun tonight? You ready?
She even got my dad to say
Just
okay.
lighten up a little bit.
They're teenagers.
She's so hooked on enabling that my friends think she's their buddy. She doesn't care. Why should I?
Enabling is a drug. Get help. The partnership at drugfree.org.
Welcome back. We are very, very fortunate. There have been a lot of different programs there. We have a lot of different resources available to us. One of the best resources that's out there is NACOG, and a few months ago, Franklin Brown, who is with NACOG, had come in. We talked at length about some of the opportunities that NACOG and his unit provides. Coming up here, right around the corner, is a conference called Elderly Issues Conference. And we are joined today by Sue McCauley, who is the unit director, and I am going to let her tell us a little bit more about the Elderly Rights Unit.
Okay.
Sue, welcome. Thank you for being here. Thanks for taking the time. I know you're very busy right now.
You're welcome, and we appreciate the opportunity to be here today, so thank you for that opportunity. Yeah, I'd like to just talk initially about NACOG, Area Agency on Aging. Mm-hmm. This is a component within the larger nonprofit agency that Northern Arizona Council for Governments is. Mm-hmm. Our regional office is in Flagstaff. We do have a satellite office here in Cottonwood on Main Street.
Right.
Within the Area Agency on Aging, which provides numerous services for seniors, including Meals on Wheels, case management mm-hmm. In a person's home, we also offer the Elder Rights Unit, which I'm the program manager for. Mm-hmm. And the Elder Rights Unit consists of the Ombudsman Program mm-hmm. For long-term care facilities, And these are services across the 4 counties. The Medicare Public Benefits Program, you mentioned Franklin Brown. He's the program coordinator for that program, and also the Legal Advocacy Program. So I'd like to just take each one of these programs and discuss the services that they provide. And of course, we've provided you with the toll-free number, so if anyone has any questions or a request for services, they want to call the toll-free number, which is 1-877-521-3500. But back to our 3 programs, the Ombudsman Program. We recently have had join us our new Ombudsman for Yavapai County. Her name is Barbara Andre. She is located in our Cottonwood office. We also have an Ombudsman in our regional office and one over in our Prescott Valley office as well. But what the Ombudsman does is this person is a friendly visitor to those who are in assisted living, nursing homes. They're an advocate. That's their primary role. So if a person who's a resident in one of these facilities has a question about their care, they need resources, anything and everything we try to assist them with as either just kind of a resource person or as a mediator for them as well to resolve issues, concerns they might have. Our Medicare Public Benefits Program, again, coordinator there is Franklin Brown. He and his crew, we have a staff person up in our Lakeside Pinetop office. Throughout the 4 counties, they assist anyone with Medicare issues, questions, and you know, it's a very complex system.
Oh, yeah.
And there's constant changes, and our staff is on top of what all those changes are, what they mean for the individual person. So anyone who has questions, concerns, anyone foiled by all of the paperwork, all the choices that they have for Medicare Part D, for example, this staff can answer those questions for you. They'll also assist you with public benefits. So, you know, if you are wanting to get onto Access, which is our Medicaid program in the state of Arizona, food stamps, any kind of public benefits. If you have questions, do I qualify? I've been denied, how can I appeal it, etc. This program can help you with that as well.
Excellent.
And again, that program is going to serve persons who are seniors or those who are disabled. Our legal advocacy program, Amy Lanza is our coordinator for that program. She's out of our Prescott Valley office, and she'll assist persons who are 60 and older or who are married to someone who's 60 and older for administrative law. We do have a supervising attorney who approves all the documents that she prepares, but she'll do wills, advance directives, power of attorney, mental health, physical health, as well as financial power of attorney. So administrative law, we don't do any criminal law. Beneficiary deeds as well for property. So if anyone, again, has a need for services along those areas, again, call the toll-free number. I'd also like to say that we have a great need for volunteers. Every single one of those programs that I mentioned has volunteers. We put them through a training program.
Right.
They have badges. They're cleared to serve the public as well. They're a strong foundation for assisting, because you can imagine with basically 3 programs and a few assistants and trying to cover the 4 counties, it's an immense task.
Right.
So our volunteers help us in each one of those programs, and if you're interested in volunteering for any of those 3 programs, give our toll-free number a phone call.
Right.
So,
well, I definitely want to touch on the fact that on October 4th at the High Country Conference Center in Flagstaff, we'll have the opportunity to attend what sounds to me to be an excellent conference. And this is not just for seniors, but for any of those family members that may be involved or as an extended family have to be helpful in that way. Excellent keynote speaker. Let's introduce your keynote speaker and what she will be talking about.
Okay, Tricia Downing is from Colorado. She is and was a world-class athlete. She was a cyclist, and she had a accident while she was involved in a competitive event, which paralyzed her. And you know, she's come out of the bright end of the tunnel by having an incredible journey of healing herself both, within as well as without, and is now a world-class athlete in a wheelchair.
What I saw on her website and what I read, she is a remarkable woman in terms of what she's accomplished, and now she feels very strongly about sharing that with everyone else. So to have her as the keynote speaker is a great way to get this conference started.
Her title for her talk is "Everyone Has an Inner Champion."
Right. It's pretty inspiring. So what else? At the conference, there are many other things that people will find out about, some of which are...
Okay, well, let me just mention this is our 21st annual conference, so we've been doing this for many years. We do offer 6.5 continuing education units for professionals. We invite law enforcement to attend as well. We have 8 training credit units from ASPOST for those who are in law enforcement. And today, anyone who's viewing the program, our early bird registration did pass on September 12th, but if you call in again to our toll-free number, we're extending that early bird registration rate to anyone listening today.
Perfect.
For your viewers. I wanted to mention that the title of the conference is Creating Caring Communities, Hope for the Challenges Ahead. And this is an opportunity for professionals who work with seniors and persons with disabilities, paraprofessionals, laypersons, volunteers, again, even just the individual who is interested in these topics, as well as a family caregiver, perhaps. One of our plenary speakers that I'm really excited about is Terry Bowersock. You may recall she's the daughter of Loretta Bowersock, who a few years ago was financially exploited for several years and eventually, unfortunately, was murdered by the person who was exploiting her, and then he committed suicide. So we really feel fortunate to have Terry come and speak about her journey as a family member who saw all these signs and symptoms, and how did she perceive them? What did she do about them? What was her mother's response? Now Terry is talking across the country about this journey and talking about financial abuse of seniors, what family members and friends can do when they see such signs and symptoms and how to respond to that. So we're really fortunate to have her on our team too.
Well, there is going to be an awful lot going on during the conference. There are many different subjects, all of which provide a lot of education. We're about to run out of time here, but real quickly, what else? What's at the top of your list?
I would like to mention 2 local speakers who are going to be there. One is Reverend Bruce Kellogg. He's Unity Center of the Valley minister. He's going to talk on the alchemy of aging, the process of finding inner meaning and connection within as you age. The other person is Dr. John Tamiyazo. He is the executive director of Sedona Community Center. He's going to be talking about the physiology and psychology of positive aging.
Yay.
Yes.
We always like that. So much more that you can find out. There is information on the NACOG website.
Yes.
On the registration, that type of thing. Don't forget to mention that you did hear it on Senior Living. Take advantage of the early bird registration, but take advantage of it. It's something that could, in my opinion, there's some information on dementia, on living with it as part of the daily life. There's a lot of valuable information that you will benefit from. Wish we had a little bit more time, Sue, but I sure appreciate you taking the time to be here.
Thank you so much.
Talk about all of the units and about this tremendous conference that's available. And we will definitely have members of NACOG, our local resource, back in the future to talk about other resources available to us. But for now, we're going to take a short break and we'll join you back here. Stay tuned.
If you're looking for a new pet that your family will cherish every day, consider adopting from a shelter. Shelters are the best places to find a new pet. That's where you'll discover healthy, loyal, and loving animals, eager to become a part of your family. A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet, so bring home your new buddy today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
Hi, I'm Ben Bueller, owner and funeral director at Bueller Funeral Homes. My grandfather once told me, you can serve a family selfishly once, or treat them right and serve that family for generations.
Bueller Funeral Home has been serving Arizona families for 3 generations with affordable and reasonable services. Bueller Funeral Home feels a funeral should be as unique and personal as the individual it honors, whatever your choices, your traditions, or your budget.
You meet other people of your age or older. They are still active and interested. This gives you a bit of a boost too. I'm taking an art class and football for feminists. Yavapai College, life explored.
If spirit means you feel good, then I've accomplished that goal, because I do feel good physically and I feel good mentally. My name is Bob, and I'm a lifelong learner at Yavapai College. Life explored.
Talk about you wanting me. I must admit that's what I wanna hear, but that's just talk until you take me there. If it's true, don't leave me all alone out here, wondering if you're ever gonna take me there. Tell me what you're feeling, cause I need to know. Girl, you gotta let me know which way to go, cause I need to know, I need to know. Tell me, baby girl, cause I need to know. Well, I need to know, I need to know. Tell me, baby girl, cause I need to know. My every thought is of this being true. It's getting harder not to think of you. Girl, I'm exactly where I wanna be. The only things I need you here with me. Well, if it's true, don't leave me all alone out here, wondering if you're ever gonna take me there. Tell me what you're feeling, cause I need to know. Girl, you gotta let me know which way to go, cause I need to know, I need to know. Tell me, baby girl, cause I need to know. Well, I need to know, I need to know. Tell me, baby girl, cause I need to know.
All right.
Thank you.
Have I mentioned how much I love this job? I get to listen to some of the greatest entertainers. This is so much fun. Greg Gould, thank you for joining us here on Senior Living.
Thank you for having me. Thank you very much.
We have had some great musical entertainment, a couple of which were the ones that referred me to you, and thankfully we were able to make this happen. Tell me about Greg Gould. Tell me about your travels around the Verde Valley here.
Generally or musically?
Okay, let's keep it in music. We may not want to know the rest of it.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, actually, the music that I play at my church, I lead the music at my church every Sunday morning, Mountain View.
There you go.
Mountain View. Methodist Church.
Methodist,
I'm very nervous. Okay, so anyway, I do that. I've been doing that for several years, and I play music with Don Witcher. He's a singer-songwriter, and I play bass and percussion with him. Right now, he's had some surgery, and so he's laid up for a while, and so I'm just waiting for him to get well and get back so we can start playing again. So right now I'm just doing this on my own. I have played with Joe Neary a little bit and play the Bob Dylan shows the last couple of years, and so.
Well, that's actually how I got your name, was from Joe. We've had him on and hope to get him back on again. He thinks very highly of you guys, and he did mention that in the arm. That's why he's not playing right now.
That's right. He's got a tendonitis that he's been dealing with for a long time, and he's got surgery on it now, and hopefully in the next 5 or 6 weeks we'll get to be playing again, because he's a prolific songwriter and his music is wonderful. So.
Well, we'll hope for the best. We know it's all going to come out just fine. He'll be back up and running here shortly. Have you been in the Verde Valley for a long time?
I moved here in 1983.
I'd say that's a little while.
Yes, I'm not quite a native, but I'm close.
I was going to say might be pretty doggone close to it. We all tend to be a little bit of a transplant.
Right, I've been here a long time. I've been here longer than I've been anywhere else in my life. So this is home.
So what have you always been in? Has music always been at the top of your list?
Music is very important to me.
just love music. So I really do enjoy playing with other people better than doing it by myself. But it's what you got to do sometimes. You got to do it if you're gonna play. You got to play. So
Well,
I love music. It's the best part of my life, really. So.
Excellent.
I mean, except for my wife, Kim.
You better have said that. I'm glad I didn't have to come back on in a future show and make some kind of no. That's awesome, and you're very rooted in the Verde Valley now, and we're glad to have you here. And what you mentioned that you're kind of waiting for Don to get up and at 'em again. What do you think might be down the road for you guys? What are you looking at?
Well, we have recorded one CD already that we have out. It's self-titled Don Witcher, but he's recorded other music before he had his surgery, and then I'm going to go in and do the bass lines and the percussion, and then we're going to add some more stuff to that. We'll have another CD sometime next year. So
we'll stay in touch and keep up with that. In the meantime, we don't want to sit here and talk. We want to hear some more music, right? So thank you for joining us on this episode of Senior Living. We're glad you chose to do it. We will we're going to listen to some more Greg Gould on the exit, and please join us again next time. Thanks.
Green tree grows in my backyard, only grows at night. Branches all twisted, leaves afraid of light. You know them blues are just a bad dream. Say they live inside in your head. When you wake up in the morning, you bound to wish you was lying dead. Winds out on the ocean, blowing as it choose. Winds ain't got no emotion, they don't know them blues. You know them blues are just a bad dream. Say they live inside in your head. When you wake up in the morning, you bound to wish you was lying dead. My mind is rambling, like some old rolling stone. Since his nightmares come to stay, you know my thoughts, they just do not belong. You know them blues are just a bad dream. Say they live inside in your head. When you wake up in the morning, you bound to wish you was lying dead.